Somebody in the way, battling, having got in way of the attempted clearance. Jim Gannon. Oh, great flick on by Alan Armstrong.
Piece against Bradford, but here's Warburton!
Yes!
Brandon trying to manufacture the shot, gets it away, yeah!
Not got it clear. Please, sir! It's a cracker!
Running Armstrong, played in the game, and a superb goal!
Tony Didnt! Stockport County are the champions of League Two.
Hello and welcome to a special edition of the Scarf Bagara War with me, Russ Johnson, and my sidekick Waggy. We are delighted to be joined for this special episode by a League Two winner, PFA and EFL League Two Team of the Season, Northwest Football Award League Two Player of the Season, Captain County. It's only Fraser Horsfall. You all right, mate?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
All good. All good.
So what we'll do, we'll over the next hour or so, we'll chat to you about your career and about County, and then maybe get a few insights into you and maybe some of the lads, embarrassing bits, some fun bits, all that kind of stuff, if that's all right. So, just relax and have fun, basically. Happy days. Yeah, first things first, though. You went off on Saturday. Is everything okay? Are you okay after going off Saturday? I know you played on Tuesday, but
yeah, no, it were a bit of a weird one, I think. Obviously playing the game, I never go off injured, touch wood, stuff like that. But I was going like lightheaded. And it was unusual for me that, and I couldn't carry on. And the doc said, sort of, you've got to come off the pitch. I had sort of heart scans and all that done the day after, and everything's fine. I think it was just one of them things that. Random things that happened, but I'm fine. I played last night and I felt
good. You're breaking up a bit there. I don't know if was that just me? Was that breaking up, Wacky?
Yeah, he was breaking up, unfortunately, but we got the gist of it.
Okay. Shall we? Are you in the sticks, Fraser? Are you out in Halifax or something?
I mean, Huddersfield. It's normally fine. I don't know what's. Is it all right now?
It seems to be dropping in and out. Should we carry on and persevere?
Let me move again. Sorry, 2 seconds. See if it's better in here. We can redo that again, can't we?
Yeah.
Is that
yeah, it is genuinely like dropping out. We don't just want a tour of your house.
Do you want me to do that again then? Because it should be all right here.
Yeah. In fact, it does feel a bit smoother here. Okay, yeah. So I'll ask you we'll start again. I'll ask you the question again. I can cut it all up. Welcome to the Scarf Bagara War. For this special edition, we're delighted to have League Two winner, PFA and EFL League Two Team of the Season, Northwest Football Awards League Two Player of the Season. He's captain of the county. It's Fraser Horsfall. You all right, mate?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. How are you?
Yeah,
all good.
Sound.
All good.
Yeah, good. Really pleased. Thanks for joining us. It's really appreciated you doing this for us.
No worries.
First things first, then, you went off on Saturday. Is everything okay? I know you played on Tuesday, but...
Yeah, everything's fine. I just had a bit of a funny moment in the game. I went all lightheaded. I had to come off. The doc sort of said, I can't carry on. I went for some scans the day after, and there were nothing showing on the scans. So I think it was just one of those weird things that happened. But obviously, I played Tuesday night, and I felt fine. So it's good news.
Good to hear.
Yeah, good stuff. Let's start at the beginning, if we may. So, you were youth at Huddersfield, I think. You went on loan to Trafford, Stalybridge Celtic, Salford City, and Gateshead before signing a loan and then permanent with Kidderminster. Have these sort of loans shaped the player you are today? Have you learned a lot from those loans? Was it beneficial to go out on loan before sort of being thrown in?
Yeah, well, I think that sort of made my career, really. Because at that age, I wasn't even starting for the under-21s team, and I was just thinking, I'm out of contract, I need to do something. And I was just willing to go, whoever took me. And at the time, it was Trafford. And I think, looking back on my career, that was probably the most important decision I made, to go on loan to Trafford. And it was really low down. I remember being at the game and looking at my mum and dad, and they were like looking at me as if to say, what is this sort of thing? How low I've gone. But it turned out to be the best thing for me. I was playing against men at 17, 18, kicking the ball long, getting used to sort of the physical side of the game. And then from there, it sort of just spiralled. I'd be on loan there for a few months. Then I'd step up another league, go to Stalybridge, Salford, clubs like that. And it just sort of, it built me up. I was playing against, like I said, men from an early age. So I think it stood me in good stead, really.
Yeah, good stuff. And then obviously went to Northampton then, again, still sort of progressing your career. When the call came in from County, what was the thing that you thought, yeah, I fancy that? Was it, what attracted you to it?
Well, I were actually at the Halifax game where they got promoted. I was watching my mate who played for Halifax. So I were in the Halifax end, and it was obviously an unbelievable atmosphere that day. And I played there. I played against Stockport a few times, but years and years ago. But I'd never seen Edgley Park like that. And obviously, I met the manager. I met Mark Stott. They showed me around the training ground, and you could just see straight away like where the club were only going in one direction. So that was one of the main things, really. Just the drive of Mark, the gaffer, and Simon. I sort of met up with them, showed me everything, the plans for the stadium and stuff like that, and obviously the fan base that they've got. So it were a no-brainer for me back home as well, because I'd spent obviously a few years down in Northampton, so it was good to come home as well.
Yeah. So do you travel over then from? Well, you mustn't you travel over from Huddersfield for training every day? Bit of a commute, innit?
Yeah. There's all of the lads have got car schools, lads who live in Liverpool and stuff, but there's no one lives around me. We've got that many players, and not one person lives around me. So yeah, it's not bad. It's sound. I don't mind it. It's 40 minutes on a good day, so yeah, it's no problem.
Yeah, good.
Do you pray for snow at all? Do you pray for snow so you can get an excuse to stay at home?
Well, to be fair, Gaffer, even if there was snow, I'd have to come in at some point in the day. But it does snow bad in Huddersfield, so
yeah.
But we've been all right recently, so it's not too bad.
Yeah. Just going back to your injury you had I say injury when you came off. You know, last season when we got beat 4-0 at Tranmere, and obviously you did play, and it sort of that kind of told, didn't it? The next game, Gillingham, did you travel down by yourself, sort of still poorly, wanting to play? That's a rumor that's going around.
Yeah, so I was really, really ill, obviously on the Friday night. So I messaged him. There was absolutely no chance I could play on the Saturday. And I was still bedbound till Monday. I was still in bed on Monday. And Matt Jansen, who's at the club, who's a good friend of Mark's, he was like, look, I could take you down if you wanted. And on Tuesday morning now, I was sort of like, right, I lost loads of weight from not eating and being in bed. And I was just like, I feel a little bit better. I'll give it a go. So Matt Jansen actually drove me all the way down on the day. I met the lads in the hotel for the meeting, and then it's a long way, and then I played the game. So I was just hoping to get through the game, to be fair, but we were 0-0, I think it was. And obviously coming back from when we lost 4-0 on the Saturday, we were quite solid. So yeah, that were a bit of a mad day for me, that, but I were all right. And
I've got to ask, when you say you lost a load of weight, What's a load of weight in Fraser's house?
I think I lost like 3 kg.
Wow. Okay.
So I felt like you can feel it, and obviously I'd been in bed for those 3 days or whatever. So, but the game went all right. It was a physical game, which suits me. So it were all right in the end. I think we should have won actually, but I think we took the 0-0 at the time after the 4-0 defeat.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think it's in the end, it's kind of like one of the pivotal moments, wasn't it, of the season? Because we're obviously just been beat 4-0. Everyone thinks, oh God, here we go. We're going to start to wobble a bit, but you coming back kind of steadied the ship. Is that how you see it?
It's weird when you're playing in the season and stuff. There's loads of moments that you sort of think we went through a little bit of a bad patch, and I think Newport at home sticks out to me when Paddy scored in the last kick of the game. That one sticks out, and then when Oden scored against Wimbledon.
Yeah.
Those for me when I was playing in that season, those felt like the big moments to sort of be like, right, we're pretty much, do you know what I mean, going to get promoted. But yeah, those are the two that stick out in my mind for sort of when you talk about moments in the season.
Yeah.
At what point from there, then, did you think that the title's within grasp, or that we were going to win it, or was it always just secure, automatic before pushing?
Well, obviously the last few seasons, Wembley, and the year before that, Northampton had playoffs. So in my head, at that time, I was just like, I just want to get I have to get promoted. So, and we knew as well, like once we get momentum, if we win one, we know we'll win the next couple. And every time we got maybe a bit of a bad result or whatever, it followed by sometimes a negative result. So I think once we get momentum, we sort of knew, especially with the squad we had. And then obviously the Colchester away with the sort of the night we thought, yeah, it's done.
Yeah. And including yourself in this, there was loads of captains in that team, wasn't there, as well? We've talked about it on our podcast, like Paddy, Sars, yourself. There's probably more. Ben Hinchliffe as well. Did you feel that in the dressing room that you were surrounded by sort of, as you say, you're playing with men and you've got real captains around you? Was that kind of the idea?
Yeah, I think obviously the fans see Paddy as the captain, which he was a very, very good captain, good leader, probably the best captain I've had in my career. But within the training ground and what people don't see, there's like you said, Sars, big character. He were always, me and him had a fair few arguments on the training pitch, but it's sort of just because you want the best out of everyone. You had Ben in there, Neil Byrne as well. He was one of the older players, and then you've got Campsey, Will Collar. Do you know what I mean? Experienced players. So it was just a good mixture that season, and it definitely helped. But yeah, Paddy Madden was the captain, and he should have been, because he was good on and off the pitch.
Go on, give us a story about Sars then, a time you fell out, if you can.
Well, there's not many. No, we do 5-a-sides every Friday, and I think they'd purposely put me on his team because they know me and him just hammer each other. And he'd been mainly him that just walks off the pitch. As soon as the whistle goes that it's done, he just walks off fuming, and then we'd argue inside as well. But we're good mates, me and Sar, so it's good. It's healthy competition. Do you know what I mean? You're pushing each other every day to be better, and it worked for us that season.
Yeah. No, good. Yeah. What's the no fisticuffs are out like that? It was all shaking hands.
They were not like that. Because we were good mates, and it was just one of them when you're playing football. And I think it helped other people as well when they're looking at us two and they're like flipping at them two are at it. You know what I mean? So I think it helped the team, and the lads know what Sars is like. He's a winner. So yeah, some lads might have not said out to him, but I said some stuff to him.
I like it. Onto sort of Charlie then. What's it like working under Charlie? Because we've spoken to Will Collar, and others as well. And I think Liam Hogan said it recently to us that he has these metrics that he likes to achieve, like intensity, distance, and all this kind of stuff. What's it like playing under him? And have you experienced anything like that in the past?
I think all managers sort of nowadays look at stats and stuff like that. but it's very intense with our gaffer. He wants you to hit certain numbers in games, and it's proven that it wins football matches. So if you hit a certain amount of get, or you run further than the opposition, the chance of you winning is higher. So obviously he was a defender as well. You've got gaffer Clint Hill, so there's a lot of pressure on the defenders in the team. They get a lot of stick. I probably get the most stick, but I don't mind it. It makes me better. I think he's improved me as a player since I've signed, physically and on the ball as well. So yeah, and tactically as well, I'm a lot more aware of the game. Tactically, he's very, very good on the ball, off the ball. We're organised. You can see that with the clean sheets we got last season. But yeah, it's as a defender, it can be tough at times, but you're always improving.
I was going to say, because not sure Charlie played in the Prem, but Clint Hill definitely did, didn't he, with Palace, I think, if I'm right in saying. And they got to League Cup finals and things, didn't they? Well, Cup final, singular. Having those two as your sort of manager and assistant manager as a centre-half yourself, I mean, I guess you're developing at a rate of knots as well underneath them both, are you?
Yeah, obviously, like I said, Hill has played at the highest level. I think it can be good sometimes because obviously you're getting advice, but then sometimes they expect so much from you and stuff, and you can get a bollocking off them if you're not up to standards. But look, it's making us all better. You've obviously got Ethan next to me as well, a young centre back, which I think will play a lot higher in the future. So it's just good learning from the gaffer and obviously Hilly as well.
How far? Just a quick word on Ethan Pye. How far do you think he can go?
I think he can go to the top. Well, I don't want him to hear me saying that, but so I grill him every day. But no, I look back to when I think he's 21 now. I look back to when I was 21, and he's streets ahead of me, and he's got everything. He's got everything there to go on and do whatever he wants, really. So it's up to him, and obviously he's doing well this season. So hopefully he can keep it up.
Yeah. Do you think it's helping him also playing alongside you? Do you think you're coaching him, not like a day-to-day like Clint Hill and the gaffer, but are you helping him and developing him? Because from a fan point of view, you two are absolutely solid together. You look like you've played together for years.
Yeah, well, as long as I can play sort of a small part in his career, I feel like he made his league debut, obviously, I think it was against Walsall, and he made a mistake, and a lot of players can just crumble under that, or do you know what I mean? Ethan didn't, and training with him every day, speaking to him every day, we just built up a good relationship. So he knows where I'm going to be. He's covering me. I'm covering him. I know his weaknesses. He knows mine. And last season, it just gelled. And you can tell by the clean sheets, not just me and Ethan, obviously Ben at the back and Noyle, Akil, players like that. But I feel like when me and Ethan played together, we're definitely on the same page. So I don't know what he'd say. I'd like to think I've helped him. Obviously only start his career, because obviously it's just the start. But any advice I can give him, I try to help him and give him my experience as well.
Yeah, talking about your experience then. If there's one piece of advice you could give to a young 21-year-old Fraser Horsfall, what would it be? Maybe advice that you give to Ethan now.
Well, to be fair, I say it to Ethan all the time. Like, if he has a bad game or whatever, and I think this is good advice for a footballer: is never get too high, never get too low. So you always stay level, because there's so many emotions in football. You win one week, you're top of the world. You lose the next. You can getting battered to your worst player ever, or you feel. Do you know what I mean? So I think you just got to stay level. I think I did that, to be fair, as a young player, but that's probably the best advice I'd give out, and I'd keep telling it to my younger self as well, because I think back in the day, there's a lot of talk with agents and different clubs, and you can get a bit ahead of yourself when you just need to stay grounded, really. So that'd be my advice.
Yeah, Charlie's like that, isn't he? Charlie seems, well, on the interviews, he seems level-headed, never gets too high, never gets too low, but in the changing room,
yeah.
I was going to say, does he come in kicking water bottles and boots at everybody, or is he quite sort of level-headed himself?
He kicks him at me. Nah, he is, yeah. Like I said, can't. Do you know what I mean? You win games, and the success we had last season and stuff. It's always it's level. I think that they brought a video out on the last 4 games of the season on YouTube. I think it was, and you can see in his team talks. Even then, when we'd won it, it was look, it's down to business. We want to win the game, and I think it helps the players. Like, you don't want to get too ahead of yourself. Or get too, do you know what I mean, too low and think too deep into stuff. So yeah, I think he's good at that.
Yeah. No, he is. He definitely comes across in the interviews. I mean, we don't see Clint Hill as much, do we? But definitely seems level-headed compared to others.
Yeah, no, he can give a good bollocking out if we're not performing well. And I think it doesn't help that I'm writing his eye line in changing rooms, so when he looks up, he sees me, and I just get it. But, nah, he's all right. It's all right. I can take it.
Is there any aspects of your leadership style that you wish you had developed earlier? You know, like a 21-year-old Fraser, perhaps.
I'm not sure really, because at 21, you're still learning your trade. You know what I mean? Well, I was anyway at that age, going on loan everywhere, so you sort of feel. I felt at that age I hadn't sort of earned any respect off anyone, which is because I've not done anything in the game. So it's one of them. Do I wish I had it early? I don't know. It might have. People might have had a different opinion on me. So I've just grown within my career, and the more games I've played, the more confident I've got. And obviously, with my position as centre back, you've got to be a leader. But I don't know if I wish you've obviously always got it in you, but I think at the start of your career, you're just learning your trade and stuff like that, and learning off other professionals and seasoned pros. So yeah.
Yeah, nice. In terms of an average day for you, what does it look like? Say a Tuesday when you've not got a game. What does that look
like? If we train our day off, like a day off.
Yeah, let's do a day off.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I was going to say, you'd probably rather me say training day, because on days off, I'd get up, I'd see my family, go to the gym, chill out. To be fair, recently I've just moved house, so I've been sorting my house out, and I'm big into my darts as well, so I'll be playing darts.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, just lads that come over, watch football, just pretty chilled really. It's nice to have a bit of downtime away from, not think about football too much, and just see family and friends really.
Nice.
So you're the darts champion then in the county squad?
Well, to be fair, Paddy was very, very good last year. But now he's gone. It's me and Cal Connolly at the minute. We're fighting out for top spot, but I think I'll take top spot. I think he'll agree.
So what we're talking then? Because I've got a dartboard in my bar, but I'm shit, and I'll openly admit that. But what are we talking? Are we talking like averaging what, like 70s, 80s, or?
Yeah, no, not 80s. Probably my best average is about 70.
Right.
Over 5 legs, 5, 6 legs. I take it like it's good. I'm getting into it. Like I've always been into it, and obviously Nathan Aspinall, is a Stockport fan, so he normally sorts the lads out if we want to go watch.
Nice. Yeah, it's good darts, isn't it? I love the darts, me, and especially this time of year with the World Championships.
Yeah, of course. It's part and parcel of Christmas nowadays, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't wait for it to start.
It's mad, isn't it? Because like you've got darts, football and darts seem to go hand in hand. You know, with like the crowds and that, which I think's brilliant. But were you a good cricketer as well? Have I heard that right?
Yeah, I used to play cricket and tennis. They were my main sports. But my mum sat me down one, because she would taking me here, there, and everywhere. She just sat me down and was like, "You have to choose one."
Yeah.
So she made me choose. Well, I chose football, and then that were it. Then I sort of gave up cricket and tennis. But I enjoy cricket. I don't think I'd enjoy it now. It's a bit boring. But back when I was younger, I didn't mind playing it.
Yeah.
Are you glad you made that decision then, or would you have preferred to have been tennis? You know, the next Nadal or something?
No, I'm a bit stiff for that, I think. But football. No, I ain't got any regrets. Football. Do you know what I mean? I've done it since I can remember. So yeah, I'm glad I chose football.
Yeah. So
nice. Going back to the darts, then you've piqued my interest a bit. So, do you have like a squad? Do you have squad tournaments and stuff like that?
Well, we play on the Spray app where you can FaceTime your mates and you're playing and you just put in your score and it's, do you know what I mean? So you're on FaceTime to your friends. So it's good. It's good. The lads come round, they'll play. But yeah, it's addictive.
Yeah. Good stuff. Yeah. What about a day when? Because I'll say it now before we move on to a day in training. But when we spoke to Will Collar, it was like, "What do you do on a day off?" He's like, "Nothing. Just don't do anything." It's like, all right.
Yeah.
Sounds exciting, Will.
Yeah. No, I like to get up and do stuff. I'm not one for just sitting about. Like even on an evening, I'll be doing stuff. But I do. All my family are like close to me, so I'll just go visit everyone, visit the cousins, my grandma, go to the gym, and then just chill out. It's weird. Like I understand where there'll be all lads will do it where you'll say nothing. You just want to just sort of switch off sometimes because it's that intense. You're in it every day, and there's pressure on you. You're playing Saturday Tuesdays. There's pressures on you all the time. You just want a down day. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. And your mum and dad as well. You mentioned that they came and watched you play at Trafford. How are they feeling now? You're at County playing in front of 10,000.
Yeah, buzzing. My dad doesn't actually really like football. It's my mum that likes it. So, but I just remember him just all them years ago, just looking at me, and it's crazy what football can do. Do you know what I mean? People have got different paths, and my path was playing at Trafford FC in the Evo stick in front of 40 people, and you know what I mean. Now I'm playing at Edgeley Park and went to Wembley and stuff like that. So it's pretty mad. My path's been pretty mad, but I'm glad I did it.
Yeah, I was going to say then, and I was going to say, and I didn't say it. And now you're playing like Birmingham away, but you got booked for that, didn't you? And didn't play that, so I didn't want to bring. Sorry for bringing that up, mate.
Ooh.
the booking for that were a shambles as well. Yeah, I honestly was so annoyed when I got booked. Gaffer wasn't happy with that one, but yeah.
No, was we 3-0 up when you got booked for time wasting?
Yeah, so I don't know why you booked me for time waste. I don't know why I'd attempt to time waste, but
yeah,
it's football, isn't it?
Yeah, let's not waste time talking about refs, shall we?
Yeah, that's another episode or a series.
Yeah.
So I know we got Huddersfield on Boxing Day. Are you a Huddersfield fan then, or is your mum a Huddersfield fan?
No, I don't actually support anyone, to be fair. But all my mates are massive Town fans,
right?
And most of my family are. So there'll be about, I don't know how many people. All my family will be there. Well, I've got a massive family, so they'll all be there, and then all my friends. I don't know what side they're going to sit in. I think a couple of my mates, to be fair, Town fans, but they've watched me at Stockport and they've switched to Stockport. They love it. They come to every game, so I think they're going to be in the away end. But there'll be a lot of people there that I know. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. It'll be better in the away end anyway. We make more noise and we have more fun, don't we?
Yeah.
Does that add more pressure to you then, knowing that you're going to have like a lot of your family and friends there, or do you just like sort of block that out until after the game?
Yeah, I'm not one for. I don't really sort of feel the pressure or get nervous. I get more nervous when I was younger, like 13, 14, playing up age, like up the ages. Now it's sort of, I don't know. You just sort of. I think it comes with experience, the amount of games I've played. It's just another day. Do you know what I mean? So I don't really feel the pressure or anything like that. No, it's some people say it might be good to feel a bit nervous, but I don't really feel anything, to be fair. Is
that because? I mean, I don't know what sort of games you played in at Northampton and maybe before that, but just thinking like we've got Palace away coming up. Would you feel like you'd be nervous at that because it's such a big game and it's obviously Premier League away, or is it literally just it'll wash over me?
Yeah, I don't think it's nerves. It's more just like the feeling of wanting to do well. Do you know what I mean? And win the game and do my family proud or whatever like that. So I won't describe it as nerves. It's more just wanting to do well. Do you know what I mean? So I'd say that's sort of how I feel before games. But in terms of like actually nervous for a game, I don't feel anything, to be fair.
Fair enough. I mean, it's probably a massive positive because there's loads. I bet there's loads. Go on, sorry.
I think it's sort of an advantage for me, just the way I play. I think it adds a bit of a calmness to my game, sort of having that mindset. I think if you get a bit riled up with the crowd and the atmosphere and stuff like that, you can make decisions you wouldn't normally make. So I think, especially in my game, I think it just adds a bit of a calmness to me.
Hey up everybody, we're releasing all of our Patreon only video specials to everyone to enjoy over the summer. That means all of the special guest interviews with the players and the staff that we did for the 24-25 season. But if you want to watch all the new ones from now on into next season, support what we do and get some cracking extras, come and join us on Patreon. For £3 a month plus VAT, you will get early access to all of our special episodes, ad-free pods, 2 to 3 a week, monthly prize draws, we've given away signed shirts, merch and loads more in the past, and invites to exclusive live events with county legends. Yes, we will invite you to come to those live events and be part of the audience. Hit the link tree in the description to sign up and be part of it. As I said, £3 plus VAT a month. Thanks for your support, and as always, by county fans, for county fans.
Yeah, that calmness definitely comes across to me anyway, and so when I'm watching, does it help the playing out from the back? Because you do look like you've got loads of time on the ball. I always call you a Rolls Royce of a defender because you just look so calm and like you're humming almost at the back. Does it help that we play out from the back and that kind of thing?
Yeah, I think that were a big thing when I moved to Stockport, to be fair, because at Northampton we were more direct, which I'm good at as well. I can head the ball, and then coming to Stockport, it's sort of, I've showed people what I can do on the ball as well. I think that comes from the gaffer and the confidence of playing out, and obviously being surrounded by good players as well. You're trusting, you're training with them every day, you trust them, you know, they're good players. So I think that's just a big part of it. And it's just, I felt like I've just got stronger and stronger in that aspect of the game.
Good stuff. And you've recently just picked up your 100 appearances cap. And was that a proud moment?
Yeah, proud moment. I'm trying to just, to be fair, I think I should have reached it a bit sooner. I had that injury, that foot injury. I think I missed about 12 games, so I wanted to get to it a bit quicker. But I'm glad I've reached it, and hopefully I can make many more. Yeah,
and I don't want to like tempt fate or anything, but are you? How far can you go with this club? Because obviously the club's got ambitions to get to the Championship, maybe beyond. If some people are to be believed, how far do you think you can go?
Well, when I signed the Championship with the goal, like that's one of the main reasons I signed. I've still got aspirations to play in the Championship, and honestly, with the setup we've got, and sort of everything's in place for us to get there, so I don't see why we can't do it. I think people sort of thinking, give them a year to sort of settle into League One, but as you can tell, we're more than good enough to compete at the top of League One. So hopefully this season it happens. But look, if it doesn't happen this season, you learn from it, and we'll only get better from it. So yeah, the Championship is the aim.
Nice. Getting excited. I'm getting excited already. I'm in my 40s. It's embarrassing, isn't it? We're getting embarrassing. I'm an embarrassment to my family.
I always say after Christmas, sort of like, because Christmas period, there's a lot of games. So after Christmas, when the games sort of settle down, you can sort of see, right, they're in contention or whatever. You always have the team that comes up or a team that drops off. But the way it's going, like, I don't see why not.
And we do tend to be stronger under Charlie after Christmas. So if we're in a decent position before then I think we do tend to have a better second half. As you know, even being fifth in the league, we tend to have a better second half. So that's good, and it's exciting to hear it from players as well. That is definitely what we're pushing for.
Yeah, I think that's where the gaffer's good. Like when there's the amount of games, and obviously we've got a big squad. And to be honest, the squad we've got, anyone can sort of replace anyone, and it's still got a strong starting 11. So, yeah, the gaffer's good for that. And like I said, that's where the keeping calm and not getting ahead of yourself sort of comes into it again. And there's nothing to fear in the league. Like we've played most of the teams now. I think you look at Birmingham, they should be expected to finish first with the money they spent. But for me, looking at the table, like second place is still up for grabs for me.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I felt like we dominated Wrexham, which was beautiful because we don't really like Wrexham. So
yeah, but they keep winning. Do you know what I mean? They're going to be up there, you know that. But there's always a bit of something on the game when we play them, and I always feel confident, to be fair, when you're playing at Edgeley Park with a crowd, and that it's good to play in front of.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so I'll cut this bit, but Waggy, do you want to do the next section?
Yeah. Okay. So going back, saying about the dressing room and that type of thing, having some of the strong change, obviously a change of personnel for this season. But when tough times and you're not getting shouted at by the gaffer directly, who's the biggest motivator? Who's the biggest motivators within the players? Is it yourself? Is it somebody else, or is there a collection of you that sort of try and G everybody up or have a chat through things?
Yeah, I think it's a young group this year. We signed a lot of young players, so you sort of feel like myself, I got to step up, learning from obviously Paddy and Sar from last year, and stepping up this year. So I think I'm sort of one of the main characters in the squad to do that. But you've got experience, Will Collar in there, Callum Camps, Macca, Ben, and I think after the Wycombe game, we sort of sat down as a team and we took the meeting ourselves. The gaffer wanting it, and everyone sort of chipped in with what they thought. So that sort of said a lot about the group, that even though we're quite young, that there's still lads in there that have got a voice and got an opinion. And then obviously after that game went and beat Bolton 5-0. So there is a lot of characters in the team. It's just hard sometimes when you're signing new players, 10 new players I think we signed this year. So you've got to mould them in through pre-season, and then during the season, when it's not going too well, you sort of see who the characters are and who aren't. But I think the lads that have been here last year, like who I mentioned, they're probably the main lads in the group.
Right. So, any memorable training ground moments apart from having slanging matches with Stars that you could share? Anything that the fans probably wouldn't know about?
We do. We sort of spin the wheel. We do competition. That's why it was so feisty between me and Sars, because on a Friday you spin the wheel and there's fines for the kitty, or there's like stuff you've got to do. And I think, remember Chris Hussey, the left back 2 years ago? Yeah. What he sticks out in my mind, I think he got out where he had to come out and train in his boxers or something. And we all went out. We all went out and we didn't realise he was going to do it. And we're all there, and the gaffer's there, and we're all just messing about with football. And he comes running out in his boxers, and it was freezing cold. Like, it was freezing. I think it was in winter time, and we were just like, this guy's a madman. So that one sticks out, to be fair, in my mind.
So playing off that, then, who's your funniest teammate that you've ever had, or who's the funniest teammate you've got or we've had at Stockport in your time, and give us an instance of why they are the funniest, apart from running around in the boxer shorts?
So my time at Stockport would have to be Paddy Madden. Even though he'll come across obviously serious, and he was a very unbelievable captain, but he was one of the funniest guys I've ever met in football. It's hard to sort of say pinpoint moments, but he just make everyone laugh. Christmas do, he'd always be in the best fancy dress. I think last time we were on Christmas do with him, he ripped my fancy dress off, straight off, and then poured beer down me. Just stupid, like kiddish stuff like that. He was probably the funniest that I've been at Stockport. In terms of career, you play with that many players. I think Paddy Madden's up there. I honestly do. It just constantly, every day, even if you're on a bit of a day, you're like, Paddy, just leave it today. And he's just constantly playing jokes and trying to be the class clown sort of thing. So I'd say Paddy Madden.
Isn't Macca quite funny though? Did I watch a YouTube video where Macca cling filmed Paddy's car or something like that? Was that a thing? Have I dreamt that?
it happens all the time. Macca's up there, to be fair. Macca's very, very funny. But it was just something about Paddy. Yeah, stuff like that happens all the time when you come out to your car and someone's done something. Or I think Paddy must have put like a big bin, a couple of bins in front of mine, so I couldn't get out. Always losing me, like having me trainers nicked, whatever, clothes or stuff like that. It goes on all the time in training with lads, but it's good fun. Do you know what I mean?
Who's the most serious one then? Who's the one that can't take it?
I'd probably say Ben.
Oh, right, because he's a bit mature, isn't he?
Yeah, Ben's a serious guy. I think Corey tries having jokes with him quite a bit this season, and he doesn't have any of it. He's very like no jokes. If I'm going to do someone's gear, if I'm going to mess with someone's clothes or whatever, just don't touch Ben's. And I won't want to get on the wrong side of him, to be fair. So yeah, Ben.
Yeah.
He does come across that way. Definitely does come across that way to me. But
yeah.
I'd say he's come a long way since joining county. So
since being a truck driver, we've got to get that in.
We've got to get that in. Yeah, the standard comment. Because he's a truck driver. But yeah, brilliant. So, you've played over 100 games for us. You've scored 6 goals so far. Which one of those is your favourite goal? Can you remember? Well, firstly, can you remember?
Why is it the scissor kick? Oh, not the scissor kick, the one that you scored recently to the volley.
I was going to say that one, to be fair, but that is probably the best goal I've scored at county, the volley. But the goal at the end of the season, who were it against now when we were already up? With Accrington, might have been Accrington.
This is where I'm shit. Oh yeah, we won 4-1, did we? Was it 4-2?
So that one. I'm just trying to think now which one felt better. I think that one felt better, to be fair, because like it was just icing on the cake. Do you know what I mean? But in terms of a technical goal, like the chest volleys, is probably the best one.
Yeah, I did like your celebration where you just run off like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I do it all the time in training, believe me. And then like, doing a game, I was like...
But doesn't every footballer say that they do it in training all the time?
That's what I mean. I smash it in trees. I've got to pay a fine for a ball over.
Super. So do you have any pre-match rituals, suspicions? Is there a set way that you prepare for games, or do you have to wear the same boxes each game or anything daft like that?
It's the same with like you said about nerves. I don't have anything really. I know a lot of the lads do. Probably 90% of lads will do. I just wing it. I know what food I'm gonna have. This isn't really superstition, but I'll always have chicken pasta the day before. Get my pasta in the morning, but that's just carbs. But in terms of a match day, I don't. I'm trying to think now. I think I go and get a drink of water just as we're about to go out. I don't know. I don't have anything. It's pretty boring, but I just feel like I play better when it's sort of just like that. It's hard to explain. So if I had everything set in stone, I don't think it'd be the same. I like to just sort of wing it and, do you know what I mean? Play with a bit of freedom.
On the nutrition side, then, just very quickly, I remember like 10, 15 years ago, and I know it's going back, but Rio Ferdinand would take Jaffa cakes onto the pitch or something like that.
Yeah.
And then, do you do anything like that?
The camera's gone off.
Yeah, no, just carry on. I'll sort that out. You can still hear me though, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's obviously the nutrition at the training ground is unbelievable. The food we get there's top notch. So the lads have got everything there we need, and then on a match day there's energy gels, there's Jaffa cakes for your sweets, for your sugars, and there's caffeine shots, and there's everything. I think what's Louis Barry been taking? He's been taking some sort of what were it now? I can't remember what it was. Some special juice, and I was just like, well, if you're taking it, I'll have some. I don't know. I can't remember what juice it is now. But yeah, he's been taking it. So whatever he takes, I'll just have.
Is it a set menu, or is it more? Do you give them? Do you say I want to have this to eat, or is it a buffet, or how does that? How does
it's sort
that
of a buffet every day. Every day you go in,
and
so
that's determined.
Got your veg,
yeah,
and then you've got we've got the nutritionist Sam in, who tells us sort of what you need to be eating or how much you need to be eating. So like a day before a game, for example, you want a carb, eat a lot of carbs. Day after a game, you need to eat a lot of carbs as well. So it's all there for us. There's sort of no excuse. The food's there, the information's there. So like I say, you don't get that at every club, especially the clubs I've been at in the past. It's been Stockport's been the best for that I've been at.
Excellent. Yeah, I think that there seems to be a common theme with a lot of people, a lot of players that join is we've got the championship set up with the training ground, with the nutritionists, all that type of stuff, which is absolutely superb. So you're saying obviously you're not nervous as a player. If you're out of the team, whether it's injured, suspended, just not in the team for whatever reason, are you a good spectator on the sideline, or do you get involved? Are you still shouting at players?
Yeah, well, to be fair, the recent one, Birmingham, I probably got more like into it than I would in the games. You know, if someone misses a chance or whatever in the game, I'm sort of just like, he's missed a chance, you move on, sort of thing. But I'll watching it on TV and I'm shouting at the telly, especially when Will hit the crossbar and Louis had his shot. So I'm probably worse watching it, to be fair.
Okay. So does that carry on? Because if you're actually at the game, watching it, if you're like,
yeah, especially when I was injured in the season we got to Wembley, because obviously the lads were on a good run, and we needed to be on a good run to get in the playoffs. So those games I were in the stand there, nervous, but yeah, I probably do get more into it watching it than actually playing it.
Right.
So for Birmingham away, then obviously you were suspended. Was there a reason you didn't travel with the squad?
Just because I had. Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, is that a normal thing, or would you normally travel?
Well, I came in early that day to train and do a tough session, so I'd have been in the day after as well. So it'd have been a long day. I'd have been getting in at whatever time, 1 o'clock in the morning, or whatever. So they let me just watch it at home, to be fair. So I think home games obviously have to go, and I wanted to go, but it'd been a long day for me, and obviously I needed to recover and stuff from the session I did that day.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
So did you already know that you was going to play? Oh no, yes, you played on the weekend before, and didn't you? You played on the Saturday. So yeah, you knew. Yeah.
So it with the FA Cup and the Birmingham game. I think.
Yeah.
So do you want to take these next ones, Russ?
Yeah.
How are we doing for time? How are you doing for time? You okay still, Fraser?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah. Gets a bit quick fire now. Well, a bit quick fire. So if County had a talent show, what would your act be? You may have already done this.
Probably dancer.
Really?
Yeah, I like dance, getting the lads up for it a little bit. So, do you know when I'm talking about the spin the wheel, I'd get dancing for a minute, but in silence, so the lads wouldn't be able to like sing along with me or anything, or dance with me or anything. They'd all sit there and stare at me, and I'd have to just dance. So I'd probably say that.
What, do they sit there in stony silence, like no facial expressions, or are they all bursting out laughing?
To make it awkward, they sit there in silence. But that's the. Some people get embarrassed, but I'm all right with it. Is what it is.
Nice. What's your music genre of choice then to dance to?
To dance to, I'd probably say R&B, But I wouldn't say that's my favourite genre of music. But I dance to R&B.
Nice. Right, counties best and worst then in terms of the current squad. Fashion sense. Who's got the best? Who's got the worst?
Can I say myself the best or not?
Yeah, of course you can.
No. I think Odin Bailey, best. Odin's got good fashion. And the worst for me has to be Callum Conley.
Really?
Callum
Why?
Conley,
Why? What's he wearing?
It's just Bobby basic. It's very, very basic. And he's same age as me, so he dresses like he's a lot older. So he gets a lot of stick off me. So he'd probably expect that one.
I'm glad you said a lot older and you didn't just mention mine and Russ's ages.
I bet he dresses like us, Swaggy.
Yeah, he dresses like us, yeah.
Yeah. You've already answered half of this one, but dance moves. Who's got the best? Yourself, probably. Who's got the worst?
Macca's good at dancing. Worst dance moves. I'm going to say Sam Hughes, but I've seen him. He's actually all right at dancing.
He just looks like he's not a good dancer.
I'd go Louis Barry. Worst dancer.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He normally just likes to stand there and smile. I don't think he's a dancer, Louis Barry.
Too cool for school.
Yeah, he's a bit cool, Louis. I think if he had to dance it wouldn't be great.
Like it.
What about sense of humour? Worst than best?
Best, probably Sam Hughes. Sam Hughes, funny guy, good character. Worst sounds a bit harsh.
Yeah, it's probably from what you said.
I think we've already answered.
Serious.
Yeah, most serious.
Yeah. Obviously, Ben's more serious. I wouldn't describe him as worst though, because me and Ben get on, and he's a good guy. But in terms of seriousness, and do you know what I mean? That's that. It'd be Ben.
Well, you'll certainly know if he's watched this the day it's released, the day after, when he just comes and stares at you.
So, I mean, like I say, he's a big guy as well. I don't want to mess with him.
No. Yeah, I don't really know why we put that in. Worst sense of humour. That's like, I don't even know what. It's not even. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. If you weren't a footballer, what would you be now?
Right now, I'd try and be a professional darts player.
We shouldn't be laughing, Waggy.
No, I think that's brilliant. Yeah.
I'll take it serious, Waggy.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
But okay, so because you've got into your darts now. If you wasn't a professional, that's not something that you'd probably have thought of like at 18, 19.
Yeah. That's a good question. At that age, I'd probably just work for my dad. He owns a taxi firm, my dad, so I'll just work for him. I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I'd like to. Coaching, I think, is an option. I'd like to coach like 17, 18-year-olds where they're just coming into the.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They're starting to they've left school and they're starting to go out or do this and that, and there's lots of stuff involved. I think I'd want to coach that age.
But so is that something that you're looking? And I know you're only 28. You've got a lot of years left.
Yeah.
Is that something that would you rather go into the coaching role rather than a manager or pundit or? Yeah,
I think coaching or scouting. I've done my B license at Stockport at the academy, so I've worked with the academy lads, which is a really good setup, and there's some good players there. So I've done my coaching there, and I'm doing my scouting course as well at the same time. So
cool.
One of those two, I think I'd probably fit into. But like I said, that age group, if I were to coach it would be that age group where it's like it's an important part of your career.
Yeah, very impressionable, isn't it? It's quite a noble thing that to go into that age, that sort of age group, because they can be the awkward so and so's as well, can't they? At that age,
That's what I mean. I just think the way my career went, I think it could have gone either way at that age for me. And luckily, I obviously did the right things and stuff, and it's made my career. So there's a lot of distractions at that age. A lot of stuff comes into play, growing. Do you know what I mean? People grow spurts, going out with their mates or whatever. So I think I'd be quite good at coaching lads at that age, I think.
Yeah. No, nice. No, good answer. Favorite school subject, but you can't have PE.
See, I work great at school. Favorite subject. Do you know what? I'd probably say history. But don't ask me any questions. I just liked it. I passed it at the time, but I remember half liking history. That were about it though.
So you liked history because you passed it, but you don't know anything about history.
I don't know about it. I just passed it. And I think a few of my mates were in there as well in class. So
and there we go. Yeah,
it usually helps, doesn't it? Yeah. Couple more on this, then we'll get into the quick fire because time's cracking on. Favorite hobby outside of football? I think you've said it, darts, haven't you? Have you got any hobbies like with your hands? Are you enjoying the DIY of moving into a new house or anything like that?
No, luckily all my family members are joiners or electricians, so I'm not doing anything. I'm just getting them to do it. What would I say? I'm trying to think now. I like my snooker. I like snooker. Obviously, my darts. I don't really have any other hobbies.
To be fair, computer games or anything like that.
To be fair, I play on my PS. I'm not massively into it. I was in COVID, but yeah, PS. I play on my PS5 quite a bit. I like my clothes, even though some lads will probably hammer me for that. I like. Do you know what I mean? I like my fashion and that.
Yeah,
but nothing major. That's main one.
So fashion. Then, do you spend a lot on your clothes? Then, is there a lot going out a month?
This is what I mean. I walk into the change room. Louis Barry's got all this fancy designer gear, and I'm saying, look, I've hardly spent out on this gear, and I look 10 times better than you. So you need to learn off me. He's got all the fancy stuff on and that, and I'm just like, you need to learn off me.
Brilliant.
And then I tell you what, last one from me on this. Favorite computer game then for your PS5? What's your go-to game?
Warzone. I don't know if you've heard it. Call of Duty, Warzone.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've heard of Call of Duty. Yeah, probably remember the first ones that came out, don't we, Waggy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were developers.
I did. Yeah, no, Call of Duty. I've played it up since it started, and then obviously in lockdown, it was all I were doing basically.
Yeah.
So,
proper good, isn't it? Do you play online or do you just play like the story?
I played on the Verdansk where it's online.
Right.
Do you know the one where there's like 100 players and I'm playing 4 of my mates and last man
standing.
Yeah. That were massive in that in lockdown. Not as much now, but yeah.
Yeah. No, the sound are really good, aren't they? Right. Waggy, do you want to take the last bit?
Yes. So are we doing favourites and quickfire or just quickfire?
I think you do. I think we do because we've got enough to. Well, we've got a few minutes left. Do favourites because they're quick answers, aren't they?
Yeah, they should all be quick.
Then do the quickfire and then we'll wrap up.
So yeah. So favourite. So favourite film, box set, or TV show, or you can have one of each, or pick one of the three.
One of each. I'll pick one of 3. Favorite film.
Yeah.
Law-abiding citizen.
Will Smith.
No.
No.
What's it called?
The guy who did.
Yeah, I know you mean. Oh, what's he called? Gerard Butler.
Gerard Butler.
That's
it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So favorite box set.
Friends.
It's fair enough.
Used to watch that all the time.
Favorite TV show?
Favorite TV show? Do you know what? I don't actually watch that much TV now. Favorite TV show? Back in the day, it was X Factor. I don't know what it'd be now. Probably I'm a Celebrity. Get me out of here.
Right. Okay. Favorite food?
Favorite
chicken
food.
pasta.
Chicken pasta.
Favorite
In a
food.
close season.
Probably my mum's Sunday roast.
Oh,
Sunday
yes.
roast. Excellent. Favorite music album?
Justin Bieber Deluxe, I think it's called. Great album.
Okay.
Nice.
And your most prized possession?
Most prized possession? Probably my framed county championship hung up on my wall.
Nice.
Excellent. Like
Yeah.
it, yeah. Favorite kickoff time?
$12 o'clock.
12
Really?
Kickoff.
Really?
Wow.
Early kickoff for me. Yeah.
Why
Is that
early
because you
kickoff?
get it done out of the way kind of thing?
Yeah, the rest of the day.
Get it done, rest it there. And
Fair
there's not
dues.
much messing about in the morning. You're up, you're playing. There's no waiting about.
Yeah.
You're
Okay.
up and you're playing.
You won't be surprised to learn that for fans, that's one of the worst ones because we haven't got enough time to drink before the match. So.
Yeah. I can understand that, to be fair.
So basically, we got one or the other now. So would you prefer hot or cold holidays?
Hot.
Beer or spirits?
Beer.
Curry or chippy?
Curry.
Dog or cat?
Dog.
Good. Quiet night in or a night out?
Nowadays, quiet night in.
Nowadays, you're only 28. Jeez, man.
I feel older.
BMW or Mercedes?
Mercedes.
North or south?
North.
Yeah.
And then
gotta
the
be
final
north,
one,
hasn't it?
which wasn't on the sheet, but I think it's quite a good one for the last one, considering that me and Russ are sat here. Would you rather go grey or bald? And don't worry, you're not going to upset either of us.
You put me in a situation here. Honestly, I think I'd rather go grey.
I thought you'd say that as well.
Because Gray says that you're experienced and energetic. So if you're bald, you're just bald, aren't you? So
is that right?
yeah, that's right. That's what I've been telling
read that
myself.
online,
Anyway.
have you?
To be fair, I've actually got a few. My barber told me I've got a few greys the other day, so I was like, yeah.
There you go.
So, and just finally, as we are close to Christmas, what is your favourite Christmas movie?
Love Actually.
Love Actually. What's your favourite role in a school nativity? Was you in a school nativity? Or what
Who's
would
come
you
up with these
prefer to do?
questions?
I don't know where these have come from.
I think I must have been like, I think I was like, one of the kings. One of the kings, I think.
Right, okay. That's not
with
a bad
gold,
role.
with a gold. Yeah. I think I want kings, man.
Do you eat Christmas dinner? Just because, and I suppose that's because with it being probably a day before a game or anything like that. Do you still have a bit of Christmas dinner?
Yeah. I just won't load the plate up with what everyone else is loading it with. I'll get my veg in and I'll have it not quite light.
And what does a Christmas day normally look like for Fraser Horsfall the day before a game?
I try to chill out, but I've got a massive family, so it's carnage. I go to my aunties in the morning, watch my little cousins open their presents. I then go to my other aunties for Christmas dinner normally, and we have to have a seating plan. There's that many of us. So that's carnage. And then we go, and then I'll get off, and then they'll all be drinking and playing games all night. But I'll get off at that point. Leave them to it.
Very good. Very good.
And are you looking forward to the day? Not too soon, obviously, but are you looking forward to the day you can stay with them, have a drink, and play some board games on a Christmas day? You're looking forward to that eventually.
When I've finished football?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, eventually. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not like I prefer the build up to Christmas. I prefer that. The probably best day about Christmas is watching my cousins and stuff like that open their presents. So yeah, that's probably the main bit on Christmas Day for me.
Fair dues. Happy days.
That's all I've got.
Right, sweet, yeah. That's all we had, yeah. I think we've got for everything. So yeah, good stuff. Fraser, thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much. Brilliant.
No worries. It's been good.
Good. Got through the gremlins at the start, but I think we've done okay. So cheers for coming on. Really appreciate it.
No worries.
If one final question before you go. Can you line up and nominate and volunteer a player from the squad to come on the show and answer the same sort of questions?
Well, I just pick one now.
Well, no. Well, yeah, you could pick one now, but if you could go back and just say, get one of the lads to come on and we'll get in touch.
Well, who do you want? I know who you're going to say.
We might have different. We've not discussed this. I mean, I was going to say Macca. Was that
Macca not being on? Has Macca not been on? No, Macca would be a good one. He'll have some good stories, Macca.
You're probably thinking we'd have been saying Barry.
Yeah. No, I think Macca's a good one because obviously he's been through some bad injuries recently and he's come back.
Yeah.
And everything.
He always looks stronger, doesn't he?
That's what I mean. Yeah. So he'd be a good one to get on and tell his story and what he's been through and how he got through it and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, if you'd like to put in a good word, you've got my number. If you can pass my number on to him. And if there's anybody else you think it would be a good one to be on, then by all means, don't mind. As I say, I don't think we've been too harsh. As I say, we'll go through the same process with everybody else. No,
it's good, light-hearted, and get good points across. Like even if young lads are watching it or whatever, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
take some advice or whatever. It's good.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. We do try to cover all bases if you like. Good stuff. Yeah. Well, Fraser, been an absolute pleasure. Cheers, mate. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
And
cheers for having me.
Take care. Speak to you soon.
Thank you very much,
Cheers, mate.
Fraser. See you later, mate.
Bye now.
Speak soon.